Saad, are you there? Saad? हाँ ये बायोप्सी कर
कौन सी आप इसको गेस कर सकते हैं कि ये कौन सी जगह है यानी क्या है इस वीडियो में पता चला
ये मोस्ट प्रॉब्ली क्योंकि ऊपर है ना ये हेड ऑफ द पैंक्रियास बनना चाहिए
यानी ये वो हेड ऑफ द पैंक्रियास तो दे मस्ट बी इन द D1
या ये D1 है
कैसे वो क्या था
वो इस तरह के अगर तो
फीचर कोई इसमें और कोई चीज नजर आ रही है तो इसके
न जब हिलते तो उस वक्त वो ऊपर से ना मुझे वो नजर आती है उसमें पोर्टल वेन और ये डक नजर आती है और दूसरा है कि ये जो है जो मेसेंटेरिक वेसल्स वो इस साइड पे जा रही है ये एओर्टा है फासले पे तो उसमें कि बिल्कुल जंक्शन पे ये एओर्टा है हाँ ये बिल्कुल जंक्शन से कर अच्छा दूसरा है कि जो आपकी जो फॉल है अगर ना आपका डिसेंडिंग तो इस तरह फॉल बननी नजर आती है यूँ ऐसे
फॉल क्या मतलब
ड्यूटल फॉल
फोर
नहीं फॉल यानी जो मिकोजा की जो लाइन है वो नजर आ रही है
इसमें
ये क्या इंडिकेट करती है फॉल यूएस के मिकोजा
Done.
जी साद वी कैन हियर यू नाउ
Okay, so this is a lady with obstructive jaundice, stent in C2 as you can see. With the, as we come here at the distal end of the CBD, you can see, I don't know if you can appreciate there.
yes we can see that
See, okay, so we've got a mass here which is not very well circumscribed but hypoechoic, fairly diffuse, just at the distal end of the CBD. The pancreas is actually literally not there. The whole body and thing, but in the head here, the pancreatic duct seems to be a little visible. Doppler देना. एक मिनट ठहरो. Let's see a bit of it. So we actually went and did an FNA of this, and we've got cells on that, and we're just reviewing that. There are multiple lymph nodes, but they're not.
Saad, in this mass, how do you differentiate between the head of the pancreas mass versus low CVD mass,
Yeah,
periampullary mass?
you really can't. Sorry, inflammatory mass.
No, periampullary mass.
Periampullary mass. I mean, you know, whether it's pancreatic or whether it's distal biliary, it will all look the same.
Yeah, I agree.
So you really can't differentiate. But in this case, she looks like a otherwise very fit lady. But that's the only abnormality we have found and there's hardly any body or tail of pancreas. That's something that we saw.
How about the blood vessels? Can you show the blood vessels around the mass? Are they standing clear?
Yeah, blood vessels are. That's the portal vein there. Hatana Doppler there. And you can see that it's going all the way. That's the superior mesenteric vein. You can see that going through it. The distal end of the CBD, if you look at there, if I follow it, it literally ends into this area. And then there is, it just comes here. If you follow it here, this is where this is what we saw. Okay, so this is all we saw, but there is no vascular involvement. Acha, the other thing is we can't go deep into D2. There is a stricturing there, so it's not very narrow, but it doesn't allow our scope to go. Okay.
Okay.
Mediastinum. So what we focused on was not so much with Kamran. What we were working on was how do you bring something that's on the left side of your screen up, down below, so that if you want to do an FNA of a lesion, how do you bring it to the to an area where we can insert the needle, or you know, when do you advance the scope? What happens when you advance the scope? What happens when you pull the scope back? And he did the gastric station well, and he did the duodenal station as well. But what I think we need to emphasize is, for those who are doing it, obviously who haven't done enough, is that their interest at the moment should not be so much on what we find, it should be on the movements and how we find them. Okay, so we go back in. You come out to the thing. Na? So what I generally do is come back to 30. Now you see there is a now just go just a little bit there. Tip up. Tip up. Right, tip up. थोड़ा सा अंदर डालें. No, pull back. Sorry, pull back. थोड़ा सा pull back. Pull back. Pull back. Right, pull back. इसको यहाँ रखें. Pull back. Keep pulling back.
Minimum standards of reporting.
Keep pulling back. Now you've got the mitral valve, right? So pull. थोड़ा सा rotate करें. Okay. Right. ये जो नीचे वाला है ना, it goes. That's after for. इसको तो यहाँ पे रखें. So you can see the valve. Pull back a little bit more.
सर आप इकोकार्डियोग्राफी सिखा रहे हैं?
सर जी मैं एरिया 7 को दिखाने की कोशिश कर रहा, but in that process we can see the.
Yeah, I understand. मैं वैसे it was just a light comment.
No, I got your comment. So what I generally do is area 7 is easy, so you just go in, take a tip up. So we have you keep coming there, you've got the left, you let go of the wheel a little bit. So you have aorta, left atrium. Go a little bit more on the left, you've got the mitral valve. Go a little bit more on, you will be able to see generally speaking, the aortic valve is here. Let me see if I can get that. That's the aortic valve, okay? So you've got aortic valve, you've got mitral valve, and you've got the area 7 there. Okay? Now you don't go for area 7, you don't go completely down, because you're going to, this is what's going to happen. So if you keep this is where you really need to. Once you've seen this, what we were telling you is that once you've seen this, now you go down and pull back and pull back and pull back and pull back, and now you've got the aortic. Okay? And once you've got that in the mid, once you've got that in the so that should be the area 7. That's AP window. But as Riyas was saying, is it really of interest? I think area 7 is important because we see a lot of lymph nodes. But AP window, I don't know. Riyas?
जी जनाब.
आप एपी विंडो से आपने पैथोलॉजी कभी कोई लिम्फ नोड्स कभी बायोप्सी किया है?
हाँ जी.
How often is that?
How often is that? It depends on the referral, because number of times the bigger lymph node is the subcaverna. I go after the biggest lymph node or the most sinister looking lymph node in the imaging, and if the biggest lymph node is in the AP window, I am going to go after the AP window lymph node. If the biggest lymph node is in the subcaverna, I shall go for the subcaverna window.
In my experience, when I've seen, mostly it's tuberculosis that we do for, and really if you've got lymph nodes in the AP window, then you always have some nice, decent, juicy looking lymph nodes in the subcarina as well.
Yeah,
I think in the lung, with the pulmonary malignancies, etc., I think AP window becomes a more important thing, but we don't see it that often.
I entirely agree with you that if let's suppose that I've done 10 cases of mediastinal lymph nodes, at least 6 of them will be because of tuberculosis.
ये बोलो उमर सर से माइक
Okay. Right, I mean, you know. So we're done here, so next case is Lele.